I think venturing out into low Earth orbit and beyond helps us to better understand who we are and our place in the solar system and the universe. My name is Kjell Lundgren, and I'm the commander for NASA's SpaceX Crew-4 mission to the International Space Station. I grew up in an Air Force family, and so I was born in Taiwan and spent the first 2 years of my life there. We lived in Kansas and Illinois, and then we were transferred to England. It was a phenomenal upbringing. The opportunity to experience different cultures, it really opened my eyes to what it means to be an American. I wanted to be an astronaut for as long as I can remember. I think I was inspired by the very first space shuttle launch in April of 1981.
America's first space shuttle, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
And that, I think, is really when this dream was just burned into my consciousness. And so I charted out a path. I went to the Air Force Academy, maybe to become a test pilot and then ultimately to join NASA as an astronaut. That path took some twists and curves, and I ultimately did not become a pilot, but went into medicine. And yet, still found a path through medicine where I could serve human spaceflight as a flight surgeon at NASA, supporting our crews training for International Space Station missions. But I still had that dream that perhaps I would get to do that job someday. It was absolutely amazing to get the call that I had been selected into the astronaut office. And it felt a little bit like a culmination of the hard work that I had invested in getting to that point. What an amazing, really dream come true for me. In 2013, I was assigned to my first mission and spent 141 days living and working on the International Space Station. That truly was the realization of that lifelong dream. Of all of those things in that moment and in that mission were really, really special. It was an absolute honor to get selected for the Crew-4 mission. And on top of that, to have the opportunity to command. Getting to fly with this amazing crew, with Farmer and Samantha and Waddy. They are incredible astronauts, and I feel very grateful to be on a team with them. But we're one small part of a larger team that spans the nation and the world. We truly get to leverage the best and brightest as we chase somewhat impossible goals. And so as we push forward to the moon, as we push to Mars, we are presenting ourselves with almost insurmountable challenges. By presenting ourselves with those challenges, we become better as a community, as a country, and as a species.
I got the call to become an astronaut one evening. I had this feeling that the whole universe just stopped, turned around and smiled at me. My name is Samantha Cristoforetti, and I'm a mission specialist on the NASA SpaceX Crew-4 mission to the International Space Station. I was born in Milan, in Italy, but I grew up in a tiny little village in the northeastern Alps, still in Italy. So a very rural place, small place in the mountains. I grew up skiing and enjoying the outdoors. My parents owned a hotel, so that's what they did all their working life. We actually lived in the hotel. It was our home. I started dreaming about becoming an astronaut pretty early on. I was still in elementary school. I think it was a number of impressions that made me dream about that. The things that I was learning in school, also books that I read. I was an avid reader of adventure books. The fact that I was growing up in a place where I had an opportunity to go out and play and explore with other kids unsupervised and get that passion for adventure. So a number of those things, and I guess they were enough to kindle that sparkle of passion for space exploration. I completed my high school in Italy, and then I enrolled at the Technical University of Munich in their engineering degree, and that shows the aerospace track. And then something unexpected happened. The opportunity opened up of actually joining the Italian Air Force as a pilot. That had not been possible for me straight out of high school because back then the Italian military did not admit women. The very broad educational and training background that I had when I became an astronaut really helped me a lot. And the astronaut job is really very much about this broad spectrum of things that you have to master rather than being a specialist that has mastered very, very well for a long time this one thing. And so I was very grateful in hindsight. In 2014, I had the opportunity of flying to space for the first time, and I spent 200 days on the International Space Station. Getting to space station, opening the hatch, hugging our friends who were waiting for us there, getting used to that sensation of floating, that first look out of the cupola, that first, full view of a sunrise.